Black Lives Matter.
So again, guys, I just want to thank y'all for coming out and supporting me while I do this speech, all 6 of you all. If you guys, okay, all right, one moment. How to change the oil in a vehicle. A vehicle's oil should be changed regularly to keep the engine clean and working at maximum performance. This is important so that you get the most out of the investment you put into your vehicle. Due to the physical labor and abundance of oil change coupons floating around, changing oil is not a favorable task for one to do themselves. Nonetheless, what is going to happen when the coupons disappear? Many mechanics make changing oil look quite simple. However, they do them as often as pregnant women go to the restroom. The good news is that changing your vehicle's oil is definitely not rocket science. For this task, there are a few things you will need to acquire from your local auto supply store, or if you're like me, a friend or relative. Before you begin to gather the necessary supplies, you will also need to do a bit of research on your vehicle. 2 important things to figure out is the type of oil and filter your type of vehicle requires, along with the size of the tools required to drain the oil and replace the filter, such as a socket or wrench and a specific oil filter tool. You can look these things up in your vehicle's manual or online depending on your preference. While researching, be sure to take notes of where your vehicle's drain plug, filter holder, and oil input areas are. Once you've acquired the knowledge of both the type and placement of your vehicle's oil components, you can head down to your local supply store and or a friend or family's relative toolbox for your vehicle's required oil and filter, a drain pan, a funnel, an oil filter tool, a wrench or socket sized for your drain plug, and a jack. If your vehicle sits off the ground so that you can safely and comfortably fit under it, a jack may not be needed. Another good tool to have is a blanket or something cushioning to lay on. Once you have gathered and know these things, you are ready to change your vehicle's oil. To begin the oil change, you must drain the old oil. You will need to position your drain pan centered under the drain plug to prevent spillage. Also, now is the time to lay down your blanket or cushion if you've chosen to use one. To gain better access to the drain plug, you should jack your vehicle off the ground. Do not forget to put on the emergency brake if you do so. Once everything is in place, you can use your socket or wrench to remove the drain plug. You may need to apply excessive pressure to crack it loose. After the oil starts to flow, you can pull the plug out completely and make sure you place it somewhere safe. No more oil draining will indicate that it is time to replace the drain plug that you set aside. You will replace the drain plug using the same socket or wrench you took it off with. Make sure this is replaced as tightly as possible. Next, you must replace the filter. You will remove and replace your old filter with the new one using the oil filter tool. Once removed, you can drain the leftover oil from the old filter into the drain pan. This will allow you to store the old filter in the box your vehicle's new filter came in until cleanup. When installing the new filter, be sure to secure it as tightly as possible. After the drain plug and new filter have been secured, you can remove the drain pan and blanket if you have chosen to use one. Once all tools are accounted for and not under the vehicle, you can lower the vehicle off the jack if you needed to use one. Then it will be time to put the new oil in. To pour oil into the oil input area, you must first remove the oil input area's cap. Once removed, you are ready to pour. This is done safest by placing the funnel tip into the opening of the oil input area. With a steady hand, you can then begin pouring the oil into the funnel top. You will see the oil rising high into the funnel. This indicates it's time to stop pouring soon. After the oil is done being poured into the oil input area, replace the oil input area's cap. Then you can crank your vehicle up, which allows the oil to flow through your engine. Finally, to give the oil proper time to flow through your engine system, you can tidy up to prevent a hazardous environment. Keep a safe environment by pouring the old oil from the drain pan into the oil containers you just poured from. When you are done, you can look under your vehicle to check the work that you've done by making sure there are no leaks. This will ensure that you have secured the filter and drain plug properly. Don't forget to take the old oil back to the auto supply store. This is required to keep a safe and toxic-free environment for us all. Any questions? Okay.